Hi, Peter Charles here, Folk for Life Fly Fishing. And today we're going to tie a pattern from Michigan. It's associated with Pere Marquette River, and it's a fly made famous by a fellow by the name of Simmy Nolf. He's an old guy from the 40s, 50s, and 60s who's sort of been around that river for a long time. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do. It's a buggy type of pattern. It's very simple. Often those are the I find are often the best for Great Lakes fishing is something that doesn't look like very much, and it just has some natural colors and just seems to work. It kind of looks a bit like a woolly worm. So anyway, let's get started. Our hook today is a size 4 in a salmon single. We're going to be using a uni thread 6/0 in black. Our body is olive chenille. We're going to use a nice brown hackle for our palm ring. And we're going to use some gray mallard flank for the wing. So let's get started. No need to get fancy with the thread when we wind it back. It's palmered body. First thing to tie on will be our hackle. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a tying in point here. Next we put in our chenille. You can see I've trimmed off a bit there to make it easy to tie in. Bring our thread forward. Now we wrap the chenille. Stack it up so it is nice and fluffy. Bring it up onto the return. Trim off. Clean that up. Okay, now for our palm ring, we put a turn at the back, and then we come forward. Put some extra turns at the front, push them back. Okay, now for our mallard wing. Number of choices here. We could be really neat with it, but I don't see the point with the buggy pattern. In fact, I want something that's kind of all splayed around. So I'm going to take a good hunk of material here, and I'm just going to put them together, put these barbs together, and match up their lengths. Kind of roll them around a little bit. And we're just going to put that about the length of the hook shank. Make sure it's on top. There we go. Now it looks a little ragged, and that's good as far as I'm concerned, because what happens, that's going to flutter in the current. If you have one that's nice and neat and straight, it's just not as buggy, it's just not as good. So we trim off that bit, and we'll just finish our head off here. This is one of those flies, it doesn't hurt to have a big head. Because it helps to push the water, it helps to create turbulence that kicks everything around. Finally, some head cement. Okay, there we have the Simmy Special. Pretty straightforward, very simple to tie. I think this would be a great fly to tie when you're in a very snaggy area of the river and you don't want to put a lot of time into a fly, but you want something that's going to be effective and it's going to work. Especially in the Great Lakes where, buggy patterns often do better than other gaudier patterns. So, the Simmy Special, give it a try. No, I'm definitely going to be fishing this fly this fall. I think it'll do quite well. Anyway, cheers.